In fact, our driver parked illegally for 2 minutes, and he got a message on his phone that he got a ticket for about $40 US because they saw it on the camera. Now, there are real questions what the CCP's goal is about citizen tracking.
Stop scrolling right now. You are about to see what true communism actually looks like in practice. Fox News just exposed the terrifying reality of the surveillance state in Beijing, and it is going to make your skin crawl.
Tracking and social scoring, they say it's to make everybody feel safe. These cameras are watching every minute. They're everywhere. And while they're watching us here in China, we hope you continue to watch. Special report from Beijing.
Wait, did you catch the sheer scale of that surveillance network? Just look at how many cameras are mounted on a single intersection. Bret Baier is standing in the middle of Beijing, explaining that they have added 1,500 new cameras this year alone. They are literally tracking every single movement of every single citizen. He mentions a driver who parked illegally for 2 minutes and instantly got a ticket sent directly to his phone because the cameras saw it. That isn't just about traffic enforcement, it is about total societal control. The CCP has gamified compliance with their social scoring system, where your ability to travel, get a loan, or even find a job is completely determined by an algorithm watching your every move. We are constantly hearing politicians in America push for more government control, more surveillance, and more tracking, under the exact same guise of making everybody feel safe. But when you see it playing out in real time on the streets of China, you realize how incredibly dangerous that level of government overreach truly is.
On the tarmac, a Chinese minder tried to block U.S. press access, screaming at a White House aide, "This is our country, this is our airport." Then he yelled at National Security Advisor Susan Rice and tried to prevent her from entering the president's motorcade. The Secret Service had to intervene.
You really need to see the stark contrast here, because this completely shatters the media narrative. This is footage from when President Obama arrived in China for the G20 summit. Look at the absolute chaos and disrespect unfolding on the tarmac. The Chinese government intentionally refused to provide the red carpeted stairs, forcing the president to exit from the bottom of the plane like he was in a war zone. But it gets even crazier. A Chinese official literally started screaming at the White House press staff, yelling, "This is our country. This is our airport." He then aggressively blocked the National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, from entering the motorcade until the Secret Service had to step in. It was a completely calculated, intentional public humiliation. In international diplomacy, nothing happens by accident. The CCP was openly projecting that they did not respect or fear the American administration at that time. It is a stunning display of dominance, and it proves exactly why projecting unshakable strength on the global stage is absolutely critical. When you show weakness, they will walk right over you.
On it. Last night, he posted on Truth Social, "Also, I did not give out the contract. Interior did, to a contractor I did not know and have never used before." So Interior, he's talking about you. Did you give this $13 million no-bid contract to this company that's never done business with the federal government before?
Look at the absolute theater playing out in this congressional hearing. Representative Neguse is trying to create a massive scandal out of a simple reflecting pool renovation. He is aggressively pressing the Secretary of the Interior, heavily implying that the Trump administration handed a $13 million no-bid contract to a personal friend who builds swimming pools. It is a classic gotcha setup designed entirely for a viral soundbite. But listen to how quickly the secretary shuts it down. He clearly explains that the individual Trump spoke to isn't even part of the contract. He is just a private citizen who offered some free advice because he cared about a national monument falling apart. There is literally no money flowing to anyone connected to the president. This is the exact playbook the political establishment uses to manufacture outrage. They will take a basic infrastructure project, fixing a leaking pool full of algae, and try to spin it into a massive corruption conspiracy. It is honestly exhausting, and it shows that they are far more interested in scoring cheap political points than actually fixing the country's problems.
A red carpet, good, cheering children, excellent, a military honor band, pretty cool, and every detail choreographed that shows they care. And look at who greeted the president, the second most powerful man in China, the vice president, Han Zheng. It's kind of big.
Now compare the chaos of the Obama arrival to what you are seeing right here. This is how the Chinese Communist Party received Donald Trump. It is a massive, meticulously choreographed spectacle. They rolled out the massive red carpet, they have a full military honor guard standing at attention, and there are hundreds of perfectly synchronized civilians waving American and Chinese flags. This isn't just a friendly greeting, it is a profound geopolitical statement. The CCP doesn't throw this kind of lavish parade for just anyone. They are openly acknowledging that the power dynamic has fundamentally shifted. When a leader arrives with a massive entourage of the world's most powerful CEOs, the host country knows they have to pull out all the stops to secure a deal. The second most powerful man in China was waiting right there on the tarmac. It completely validates the idea that foreign adversaries only respond to strength and economic leverage. When you command the room and bring the ultimate bargaining chips to the table, they will literally roll out the red carpet to appease you.
Strength in China at the expense of American strength. Donald Trump wants a deal with China so badly he could sell out on American manufacturing. He could sell out on chips. He could sell out on Taiwan, which produces many of these chips. He could sell out on AI.
Listen to Chuck Schumer completely unspooling on the Senate floor. He is aggressively accusing the president of traveling to China to sell out American manufacturing, microchips, and artificial intelligence, all for the sake of a photo op. The sheer level of hypocrisy here is absolutely staggering. Chuck Schumer has spent decades in Washington, and he was an instrumental part of the very political establishment that actively supported policies which gutted the American middle class and shipped countless manufacturing jobs directly to China in the first place. For years, the political elite told us that globalizing our supply chains was the key to economic success. Now, when the current administration travels to Beijing with top American CEOs to negotiate better trade terms and protect national security, Schumer suddenly wants to act like he is the champion of economic independence. It is pure political theater. He isn't actually worried about the supply chain. He is just terrified that the president might actually secure a massive diplomatic victory that would destroy the Democrats' talking points.
On basic things. And again, the left hates that. They want to create problems and they want to say that they're the only solution to them. But their hatred of Trump just trumps all else for them. It's another reason they hate Fetterman, because he's actually open and honest and pro-American and unifying in his message. And
Look at how this panelist perfectly diagnoses the entire ridiculous outrage cycle. He points out that the left is absolutely furious about the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool simply because Donald Trump is the one trying to fix it. He notes that the previous administration spent over $30 million on the exact same pool, completely failed to fix the leaks, and the media barely made a peep. But now that the current administration is stepping in to solve the problem for a fraction of the cost, suddenly it's a massive national scandal. The panelist calls it exactly what it is: Trump derangement syndrome. The political opposition is so blinded by their hatred that they would literally rather watch a national monument fall into complete disrepair than allow the president to claim a victory. It is a textbook example of how broken the political landscape has become. When partisan hatred completely overrides common sense and the basic maintenance of our country's history, you know the establishment has completely lost the plot.
Aesthetic choice. It is not about the color, but it is about maintaining the integrity of the memorial design by architect Bacon and landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted Jr. And Jr. himself literally shaped the federal city in the first parts of the last century. And this is just another egregious.
Pay attention to the incredibly dramatic language being used by this commentator on MSNBC. He is absolutely frantic over the idea that the reflecting pool is being repainted American flag blue. He claims this is an egregious violation of the original landscape architect's vision, and that it fundamentally alters the historical integrity of the memorial without public review. This is exactly the kind of elitist, manufactured outrage that drives the average person crazy. We are talking about fixing a leaking, algae-infested pool so that it actually looks presentable for the 250th anniversary of the country. But the media establishment wants to turn it into an existential crisis about landscape architecture. It is a desperate attempt to frame every single action taken by the administration as some sort of authoritarian overreach. The reality is that the public doesn't care about a months-long bureaucratic review process to pick a shade of blue. They just want the monuments in their capital city to stop leaking and look beautiful. The media's obsession with these trivial aesthetic complaints just proves how entirely out of touch they are.
He obviously knows how Donald Trump likes to be greeted. He wants a parade. He likes the fanfare. It puts him in a good mood. The world leaders that get along with him all know. They call him daddy or whatever you got to do to get through it. So the Chinese definitely got the memo on that. I think.
Look at the incredibly smug dismissiveness from this panelist right here. She is trying to completely undermine the massive diplomatic reception the president received in Beijing by claiming the Chinese only did it to stroke his ego. She says they got the memo that he likes a parade and that world leaders just have to call him daddy to get what they want. It is a wildly condescending take that completely ignores the actual geopolitical reality. The Chinese Communist Party doesn't orchestrate a massive military honor guard just to put someone in a good mood. They do it because they respect the immense economic leverage the United States is bringing to the negotiating table. By bringing the most powerful tech and manufacturing CEOs in the world directly to Beijing, the administration is forcing China to engage on American terms. The panelist is so eager to launch a personal attack that she completely misses the strategic brilliance of the move. When foreign adversaries are willing to bend over backwards to appease you, you aren't being played. You are dominating the negotiation. If you want the raw, unfiltered truth behind the political theater, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.